All right, welcome into this case study interview with the amazing Scott Reynolds. Scott, you are just an absolute beast of an entrepreneur. It's been so cool to work with you and see the growth in your business over the last, 6, 8 months. And I want to give people an insight into what is it like, obviously working with us within CEO Finance Academy, but with a pool-based business or a service-based business like yours. What are the things that you've found useful as we have kind of deep dived on the finances together? So will you give people just a quick intro to your business and kind of how you got to this point from a history of your business standpoint?
Absolutely. I think the short summary would be we do pool equipment repairs and installations. And the journey has simply been business was going good, business was scaling up, money was coming in. And then I hit a point where I realized that it was going to continue to scale and going to continue to do well. And I just didn't have the absolute certainty. I knew where my skill set was ending and where I'm really good. I'm really good at team building, working with my team, and the craft that all my technicians have. Where it begins to get not as good, where I feel like I need a mentor or a field guide, was the financial side. I know my basic numbers, I know how to keep the budget, work those things, create a budget, work through a forecast, but not the detailed micro nuggets that you guys provide, where we break down into this very, very specifics to where I know where I need to be and when I need to be there. And what it really gave me was, and what I was looking for was certainty. I felt like I was flying a little bit blind. I knew money was coming in, I knew I was paying the bills, I knew I was making some money, but I didn't know some of the specific things you guys are been able to provide me, which is, what do I need to put away for my taxes? What do I need to do to make sure I hit this specific number for my income, and or adding team members and things like that? So it allowed me to honestly to focus more on the business because I had a certainty on where I was going.
Yeah. Thank you for the kind words. And I'm
Yeah.
curious, a lot of people say, well, I already have a bookkeeper. I already have an accountant.
Right.
Why would I look at the numbers in this way? So what for you about the experience has been different from working with a bookkeeper or an accountant? And why did you feel like you needed some extra eyes on the business?
Yeah, great question. I have a great bookkeeper and an awesome accountant. They're incredible, but they're just doing the numbers. They're not working through the numbers with me to say, hey, watch out, red flag, you have this coming up, or sitting down with me saying, hey, what is your plan? Where do you want to be? And then working through a really detailed process of how to get me there. And you guys really have been able to do that, and really on a one-on-one basis. To your point, we are talking about earlier, not a course, not something I need to read through. You guys really, it's a done with you. You guys help hold my hand and walk me through it, and it's really gotten me more interested into my finances, in particular, getting more integral with my accountants and bookkeepers, and really being able to speak differently to them. And from a different perspective, so I've got an education I've learned from you guys, things I maybe wouldn't have asked my accountant before to do. Now I do those things, and things are going well.
Yeah. I love how you have so quickly taken any of the counsel that we've given or ideas and you just run with it. It's like, hey, look, we have a spot where your ads are profitable. What's the budget for advertising? Well, it's whatever the ceiling of how fast we can spend on Google is for you, right? And you've
Yeah,
done such a great job at implementing the stuff that we've done. Which that's what makes great clients from our perspective is like, hey, let's dive in together. Let's look at the numbers. Let's go make decisions and let's act on them. Which you are the quintessential action-oriented entrepreneur that has done such a great job with that. For someone who wonders what the experience is actually like when you say, hey, what does it look like logistically to work with us?
yeah,
How would you describe the experience? Not in terms of was it valuable or not, but just like logistically, what
sure.
has it been like?
Yeah, really, really simply, I mean, it's like having a personal trainer for your finances and for your business. That's really what it is. If you've ever had a personal trainer and gone to the gym, you show up, you got to put the work in, but they're there to help you, guide you through the work, make sure you don't get injured, make sure you're getting the results that you want. So that's really what it's like. I get to drill in each week with you and or others, and we work on that week's task or project. I get a little bit of homework at times, and frankly, I'm encouraged to continue to do it because it just keeps working. You
Yeah. Well,
know?
appreciate that. Now
Yeah.
that we have gone through this together, what do you feel like you have a better handle on in your business from a financial standpoint? Ultimately, what have the outcomes been that you feel like we've been able to get together?
Yeah, I'll rewind a little bit. Probably one of the first things you said after we met and got through the first chunk of it was, "Hey, you've got some opportunity here to increase your ad spend. Go do that ASAP." And that was a little scary, right? Because I'm like, man, that's all that's money I have to put away to scale. But that was the point; it was put away to scale. So I did what you said, and we started to grow and grow and grow and continue to increase that ad spend. So really just paying attention to the direction and executing on those things as you put them in front of me.
Yeah. You've what, doubled ad spend, I think, since we had started together, profitably too, I might add, which is exciting. What ROI do you feel like you've gotten? And I know that this is a hard question, and I'm putting you on the spot here, and I'm not necessarily even looking for a dollar value ROI, but what would you say the ROI of focusing on your finances in this way has been, where you now, I mean, it's not just like you've said, okay, I'm going to hire a CFO and they're just going to take care of things and I'm done, I back out. You've really invested into the education, the understanding of your numbers. What do you feel like the ROI is, or maybe will be, for that now in your business?
Absolutely worth it. At first, again, it's an investment to get started, but what I've gotten out of it is it's certainly paid for itself, and it's been worth the investment. But again, what I've gotten out of it, one thing would be just the certainty of making financial moves to grow the business, and not have to second guess myself or rely on a CFO or others. So just education from you guys, a plan, and much like I said, much like having a personal trainer, they put the plan out in front of you, you put the work in, you continue to trust them, and you get in shape, or you get your business in shape in this case.
Love it. Last question. If someone came to you that was maybe in a pool-based business or a service-based industry like yours, and they were to ask you for, let's just call it financial guidance. It's like, hey, what did you feel like you had to get a handle on in your business to scale at the rate that you have scaled? With what you've experienced this last year, what would your answer be?
It's interesting because I've been doing a little bit of coaching, a little bit of consulting, helping some other pool businesses out, and really one of the line items is referring people to your company. That's really been it. Working with it really is working with CEO Finance Academy. A lot of guys in the service industry, from my experience, don't have a business background. I was lucky enough to come into the industry with a background like that, and those that I work with are definitely just not educated on what it takes to grow, so they get stuck in the business and not working on it and not getting out of it.
Yeah, makes total sense. And I just admire you so much for how you have been able to, I mean, you came in such a great operator of your business already, so great at building team processes, quantifying your results. And it's just been so cool to see you take the principles that we've worked on together and just run with them. And now to see where your revenue is, to see where your team is, to see where profit is for the business. It's been really cool to see, man. Super stoked for the growth that you've had. Honored that we've been able to be part of the journey. And just thank you so much for taking the time today to dive in at a deep level to what it looks like to be focusing on your finances at this stage in the game. Thank you so much, Scott. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, dude.